So trade and break and retest, it's the key to making bread within the market. It's the cleanest model you can trade. And it's just about waiting for an area of resistance to be broken and turn into support, or waiting for an area of support to be broken and turn into resistance. Let's talk about what support and resistance is before we jump into it. Support. Support is going to be the bottom points of the market where price decides to bounce within an upwards direction. So whenever you see price make a sharp point, bottom out, and then burst within an upwards direction, that's going to be support. There's going to be some supports that are going to be heavier than others, but overall it's pretty easy to identify areas of supports. It's going to do a V afterward, and anywhere where you see the V formation being formed from where the old resistance was is going to signal an area of support. And support is going to be best found on the daily and the 4-hour time frame. Okay, whether it be it crypto, stocks, anything, daily and the 4-hour time frames are going to be a lot of your best friends to see the full picture. Okay. So break and retest wise. So for crypto, your daily and your 4-hour are going to be your best friends. And for stocks, they're going to be your best friends too. But stocks is going to be a slightly bit different pathway in order to take the entry model. So let's talk about it. So for stocks, what we're going to be going to is indicators at the top. And let's go ahead and let's turn on market open marker, okay, by ChartMaker. What this is going to do is put green lines on the screen. And what I'm going to do is go to my 15-minute, and this is going to be just for my stock traders. My crypto traders, you guys cannot do this. Crypto's open 24/7. But for my stock traders, this is how you find break and retest day trades. Okay. And then we'll go into overall broad view day trading for shares and everything. Okay. So if you're a day trader and you want to trade break and retest for stocks, okay, purely for stocks, turn on market open maker. Okay. Go to the indicators at the top by ChartMaker. And these 930 levels are going to show when market opens. Okay. So the reason why these areas are so important is because when market opens, yes, everything will record. So this here at 9:30 a.m. Eastern is going to be really imperative because the stock market opens at 9:30 a.m. Eastern. Okay. So whenever we see price giving us heavy reactions within the same place, it's going to let us know, okay, this zone must be pretty important. So let's start over here all the way to the right. So I have one 930 line within this same area here, another 930 zone within this area here. Okay, and then price trickle down. We have a breakout 930 area here. So if I see breakouts and just a lot of price action happening within the same 930 level, it can lead me to believe that, okay, this level is probably pretty good. Okay. And then we have this wick down here. Okay. So let's just go ahead and put a line down here. Okay. That's the wick below our entry one. And we'll go ahead and we'll see if there's anything else on the 15-minute. Okay. So I put this box because of this wick down here at 930. So price might honestly want to come down here and test it again. Or it could test something like this wick over here. Okay. So what I'm going to be doing is looking for where market opens. Wherever that market open candle is going to be very important. It's going to let us know where a lot of the volume it is and let us know if we're going to see a reaction there potentially. Okay. So I'm looking at these 930 levels. Okay, so I got some 930 support over here, and I think price might want to definitely touch that again. Okay, so I'm going to assume that when price decides to break this area of 930ness, so breakout here, reversal here, okay, and then reversal into support here. Okay, so I know if this invalidates itself, inshallah, we'll be able to head right down to this low right here. And this is going to be really good for catching stock day trades. It just makes it really, really easy to short and just do whatever, honestly. And yeah, just make some profitable trades, inshallah. So yeah, don't make it too difficult. Just make it quick. A lot of times when it comes to shorts too, you'll take profit relatively faster than long sometimes. And that's because people are feeding for it to go down just so it can go back up. Okay, so if you get a really good push trade, it might happen quicker than a long contract sometimes. just because the goal of it is to go up eventually. But if it goes down and the low is secured, it'll definitely start bursting back up. Okay, so both sides are going to be definitely playable. Now, as far as just straight higher time frames usage, okay, take Webull for example. Here is when I'm not even gonna have to use break and retest or anything. Okay, I can just clearly see on my daily and 4-hour time frame, resistance is gonna be above current price. Okay, resistance is above current price. IPO released in 2025, which means the stock came out in 2025, and price should be able to sweep and U up and fill this area to 79 at least, inshallah. Okay, and it's just about looking for these high quality sweeps, high quality setups, and having conviction within our plays. Okay, so let's go over to some crypto, for example. Okay, ENA USD. This is an Ethereum related stable coin. Okay, and let's talk about how I like to go ahead and analyze and see if something is going to be decent. Okay, I like to start off on my daily time frame and or my 4-hour. A lot of the times my daily, and I'm going to get the broad view picture of it. So I like to go ahead and see, okay, is there resistance above current price? Yes. Okay, so resistance above current price is going to let me know that one, we're not at all-time highs, which means that there's more room for it to go higher. So if you're not at all-time highs, then there's definitely more room for you to reach higher. Okay, so boom. Now, if I go ahead and mark this area of resistance here, and this is the resistance because price decided to fall in a downwards direction from here. Okay, mark this area of resistance. Once again, price has to try and break resistance in order to progress. So that means that price has to at least meet the resistance. So we're going to take advantage of that, draw the trend line. Okay, even if I just draw it diagonally here, I can clearly see that from the top of the wick up here, okay, I can see that the top of the wick lines up with this pullback point of the trend line. So especially if you see that on your daily and your 4-hour, if you see a trend line pull back like this and you see resistance above current price and price is clearly sweeping up, dump. Go ahead and dump some money into that. Dump some money into that and make sure you guys are closing at the resistance. Okay, close at the resistance. That's going to be take profit. And if you don't fully close, then at least set some partials. Okay, set some partials, which means that instead of taking out 100% of your position, maybe just a couple percentages of it. Instead of taking out 10K of the position and turn into 80K, maybe turn out like 20K again or 10K again. Okay, just depends. But keep your money in your accounts as much as possible, always making you money. Okay, because especially once you analyze on the daily and the 4-hour time frame, like, okay, seeing high quality setups is actually not too difficult. Okay, it's about just really the psychology behind everything, having conviction in these plays. A lot of the time, these plays will work out. There's not too much technical work to do a lot of the times once you do understand, especially break and retest, and you understand resistance fills and support fills. Okay, once that's all understood, then trading is quite simple from there. A lot of the times when you're waiting for an area of resistance to be met, you're just waiting for a price to just fill itself. Okay, and that waiting for price to fill itself is going to be that money that you're trying to make. Okay, and even if price doesn't break out, okay, that's fine. But just the fact that it was even there, okay, and it tried to even break out, it thought to even do that. The fact that it even thinks to meet up with the same areas again means that we can make money within those loopholes. Okay, when it clearly wants to travel to that other area again. Okay. And this is what makes trading such a lucrative skill. Like when you just have your eyes just super duper down packed, things just become a lot simpler. Okay, so let's go and let's do BX for example. Okay. So BX, okay, I can go to my 15-minute time frame. And here I can actually look above current price if I wanted to. Okay. So I can look above current price, or I can put yeah, I'm gonna look above current price. Go ahead and put a box on the top of this here. And boom, so we have multiple areas being reacted within the box once again. So 930 reaction here, one reaction here, one reaction here. And then we have another reaction here. Exactly, 100%. So yeah, I'm looking for retest above the box, and then I would go ahead and take that. I like all the 930 reactions, and I would take it up to maybe this 930 level up here. So it can either, yeah, it can definitely be daily candle close if you would like. It could be daily candle close or 4 hour candle close. Either one. Yeah, but if you a lot of the times if you see retest though, you're gonna be good. The close is gonna be for breakouts. So yeah, so retest, yeah, it can be the minutes. So retest can be off the minute time frames, like 5 minute, 1 minute time frame, and then for breakouts, whenever you do enter the breakout trades, confirmation for that once the level has been passed is going to be a close. So for the far right, you're going to pay attention to the timer and a close of the 4 hour or the daily above a breakout level. That's far. With the far take profit, it should set you off good. First, Yeah, yeah. And it really depends on what type of move it is. If it's something like ETH, USD, then you have all these daily candle close because it's a bigger play. But if you have something like that stock I just pulled up with 930s, then you're gonna have to just play off of the minute time frame, the hold for days. So it just depends how big your move is, depends how big take profit is, and there's different scenarios for everything. It's never gonna be black and white, just one scenario, ever. So this is why we just prepare for everything. So yeah, whether or not it's crypto, wherever, it's always going to be different scenarios, different charts. And yeah, a lot of time for stocks too, you should be able to hold for like a week max, 2 weeks definitely max, and just play that 930 strategy to day trade. And break and retest with that 930 strategy on stocks is really easy. And then eyeballing everything on the global picture for shares and crypto is going to be extremely easy too. And it's really just about taking our time, analyzing the setup, and just making sure what we're seeing is making sense. Okay, I believe all these zones were already here before. And yeah, what did I see here? Let me see. 830, then I did 930. So yeah, even Dow, this looks like it wants to go up here. All these zones are being reacted off of. So yeah, this looks like it wants to go up to at least up here. So and I can go ahead and see how much this costs here. Options, Dow, 12, 62, and $1.43. And then yeah. And for just cheap constant contracts though, you can just play IWM, and which is gonna be really, really good too. Really, really easy, really simple. Same thing. It's just looking for 930 levels on IWM and just really catching the trades we gotta catch. And it's gonna be a lot easier than other ones. So SPY, QQ, and all that. IWM is gonna be a lot easier. Very, very clean, very simple to play. So cool. So all I'm doing is 930. I'm going my 15 minute. I can see some 930 support right here. Let me wait for the 930 support to be retested off of. And I'm going to go ahead and take it into this 930 support over here. And then we have some more support over here too as well. Well, yep. So if price decides to break below the entry and then give a slight pullback and then back down, very, very easy. So if we wanted support to be broken, turn into resistance, take it down to the next area. Extremely easy. So yeah. So we're just gonna make it simple. Keep the break and retest clean. We're just waiting for areas of support to be broken, turn into resistance, and just waiting for areas of resistance to be broken and turn into support. Okay, we keep it simple. Whether you're on your higher time frames or you're day trading on your smaller ones, just know the structure is going to pretty much remain. the exact same. Now the time difference is going to be different on the time frame you're using to do your setup completely. Sometimes super higher time frame setups could take longer to hit take profit, or for price action to pick up versus smaller term stuff. Okay, but that doesn't always mean that's better, because longer you hold, more tax benefits, so less money you're gonna have to pay back, and longer you hold, the more security investment you have for the rest of your life too. Versus day trading, where you got to come back pretty much every other day, every other week, and if you don't, if you fall off, that's on you. That's GG's. But long investing, you're always making bread, you're always going to be good, and that's the billionaire hedge fund mindset. Okay.